Starting your own blog inside of Stacklii and creating your own articles is so easy to do. So with this video, I would quickly like to show you how to get started with your blog. Under your pages, most of the templates should already have the blog in. If not, you would click on Add New and it would form part of this pop-up menu. All you would do is click on the blog if it's in here and it will load it into these pages. So let's start with the main settings. If you click on that little cog wheel, by default, your blog will be loaded as a blog with the name blog. So it's your website /blog with the name, and it would be public access. And you can change this if you don't like this. So how that would look is you would have your website that was allocated to you .stacklii.com /blog. So this is the example for this website. The demo site.stacklii.com /blog. Now, if you loaded your own custom domain, it would be yourcustomdomain.com /blog. And that you can adjust as mentioned by going to these settings. Now, if you go into the blog feature of Stacklii itself, there are a few key things to be aware of before creating your blog. The first thing is the header and sidebar that you can edit. Go into these settings and you'll see that you've got a number of different things that you can adjust. So to show you what that would be is this main header image and the description with a sidebar on the side if you choose to use it. Then this would be your blog content block. Now, once you're in this editor, you can now adjust these elements as you want. So your main, let's call it your hero image, you can add in whatever elements you want. And this is the normal drag and drop builder where you can add in widgets. You've got your columns, your blocks. You can add blocks as you wish. And the same with the sidebar. By default, you get some nice templates. You've got your blog widget. That this one is set to the most popular tags. And this is the same widget, just set to a different to different settings where you can see the recent post. And you can adjust all of this. This grayed out area you cannot adjust at all. This is where the content of the blog itself will live. If you look at this example, the live page example. So you can adjust this as you want. When you're happy, click on save and you are done. So if you want to add in, for some reason you want to add in a button here as a call to action. So you've got your button in there, you hit save. And once you're saved, we go back to the live preview page, reload it, and there's your button that you just added. And it's the same with any page that you're building. If you don't want an element that you dragged in, click on it and you can simply delete it and save your page again. All right, so that is the edit, header, and the sidebar settings. The next thing to look at is the settings for the blog widget itself. So here you can adjust a few different things. Let's start with your layout. At the moment, you've got your blog with a sidebar, and let's adjust it to medium image, no sidebar, and save this. Let's go back to the live preview. So this is what it was with the large image and the sidebar. And if we refresh this, you'll see it will change to the option we just chose, medium image with no sidebar. If we go back into the settings, we change it to masonry with sidebar, and it gives you a nice little preview there. If we refresh this page, you'll see that it is now masonry with the sidebar. So play around with these settings to find the one that works best for you. Then you can also select either pagination or just a load more button. You can add the share buttons. The share buttons are the social media sharing buttons. and you can select to which platforms you want them to be shared. You can add a discuss comment section if you have an account with them, and you can send yourself notifications when new comments are left on your articles. So play around with these settings, make sure that you've got the one that you prefer, hit save, and now you are ready to start creating your blog articles. So this template already have three little template posts that you can adjust as you want, or you can delete them and start from scratch. You can either just select them and delete them, and you can add a new post, or if you like these, you can duplicate them, and you can also preview that specific post that you are working on to see how it looks. Right, so if we go into the post, into the article itself, let's go through a few of these things. First thing is your header. Now, if you go to the preview again, let's select this one. It is this main featured image of the article. That's what this image is. You're going to either have it as an image, a gallery with a bunch of images, a video that you can embed, just a quote that you can add in, or nothing. You can decide whatever you want as your featured image or asset. Let's call it that for your post. The next thing is the name of the post. This field is where you give the title of the post, which will show up over there. And if we go back to the main blog page, it will be that name over there. The next field is your summary field. The summary is, as the word says, a little bit of a summary about the article. This will show up over here in the preview side of the article itself. And if you go into the article, open the article itself, in this example, it does not show up. In some of the other templates, it will show up right underneath the author, just above the content of the blog article itself. The next thing then is the content of the blog, and this is where you now can start building. This part of it is exactly the same as a normal page. Again, you've got blocks, you've got columns, and you can add blocks with whatever block you prefer, or you can just add in a few widgets, whatever you prefer. So let's add in, let's do this, let's add in a heading. My awesome idea. We update this, and once updated, we can go into the article itself, and there you can see your content. So your tags will show up underneath the content, but you can build this content out with whatever you want, and it's the same as the normal page builder that you have in the landing pages. You can either update, which means you are publishing it, or you can save it as a draft, which means it saves it, but it's not live. You can go and play around with this at a later stage. The last key area that we need to look at is the settings. Now, this settings menu is for this specific article that you are currently working on. You can decide if you want to show the sidebar in this article, show the header, which you saw previously, and you can switch them on or off per post or per article. The expanded featured image or gallery, which is this. You can enable the comments. You can have comments approval, and you can add the share buttons and select the platforms inside of the post itself. Then you have a selection of tags, and you can just click on the plus sign to add any tag that you want. You've got the categories for this post, and again, click on the plus sign to add a category if you want. Your post URL, if you want a specific URL for that post, you can just add it in there. The post author, who wrote this article, was it you, was it one of your colleagues, and then the date where this article was published. If you do get comments, they will show up in the comment section of the setting page. And that is it. That is the basics of getting started with the blog. Now, having the blog page. So if you've got it in your menu, you've got a separate page for the blog. All your articles will show up in whatever format you choose. But let's say that you don't necessarily want to have a separate page. You just want to make people aware of your blog in your About Us section. So how do you do that? Go to the page where you want to embed the blog widget, which in this case is the About Us page. And you can add in let's add in a empty block. Go to your add widgets, scroll all the way down, and under other, you've got the blog widget that you can just drag in. Now, once it's dragged in, you can decide however you want it to display the recent post, most popular categories, most popular tags, all categories, or a specific category that you want to showcase maybe. And then you can also select if you want to see the images, descriptions, and the names. And then it starts looking very similar to what your normal blog page would look. You can adjust these settings. You can have a large image, medium-sized, or masonry again. And you can then also decide if you want pagination or a load more button, and the share buttons to share this on social media, and some item colors. So this is how you would embed the blog widget into any page of your choice. And that's how easy it is to start a blog on your Stacklii website. So go ahead, load your blog, start creating your articles, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. If you need any assistance with your blogs or articles, feel free to reach out and we will gladly help.